last 2 weeks, we've looked at hermeneutics, the interpretation of Scripture, and trying to figure out what do we bring from the Old Testament to the New Testament, what is the principle, and I talked about apostolic hermeneutics, that is, what the apostles and Jesus brought over from the New Testament, Old Testament to the New Testament, that's what we follow. Many people question the concept of having a tattoo. In Leviticus 19:28, it says very clearly, "Do not cut your bodies for the dead or put tattoo marks on yourselves. I am the Lord." And so many Christians feel like it's wrong to have a tattoo, and it's a very debatable type of issue. Is that something just from the Old Testament, or does that continue all the way through? That's where hermeneutics can come in, I think, and that we need to understand why God gave that command. Notice he's talking about giving cuttings, and then it also talks about tattoos, and I think they're connected together on behalf of the dead. That there were pagan practices then in which they were giving tattoos that had to do with pagan worship and had to do with contacting or remembering the dead. And I think that that's what the principle he's talking about, not the idea of a tattoo per se. So the issue becomes what kind of tattoo you put on yourself. I mean, you could put a tattoo like this on, and it'd be very sacred and very holy. Some of you might not think so, particularly those of you that are Diamondback fans. But I think that the principle is not that you have a tattoo or not, it's what you put on that tattoo. Does it reflect a pagan religion? Does it have something to do with contacting the dead? In other words, to put a satanic pentagram on you may not be, I will even say it stronger, is not an appropriate type of tattoo for a Christian to have. Now it's interesting, some people make this argument, and I think this is debatable because it's really obviously symbolic, but it's talking about Jesus here, and it says on his robe and on his thigh, he has his name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. That's in Revelation 19:16. And so some would say Jesus has a tattoo on his hip. But again, we have apocalyptic literature. It's very symbolic. So whether he does or not, I don't know. But in this image, it's not saying that it's wrong for Jesus to have a tattoo upon him. So I think that becomes the principle. What is on the tattoo? What's the purpose of it? Not necessarily if a tattoo per se is right or wrong itself. And so hermeneutics will help us make some decisions on these. We'll still have areas of debate, and we may decide we don't want to have a tattoo. It's truly a matter good for discussion, and I think certainly up to each individual believer.